Hey, what's up everybody? Retro Gaming Guy here. Today in this video, I'm going to show you guys how you can create your own retro game console capable of playing games from early Atari and classic arcade, all the way up to Nintendo Wii U and even Nintendo Switch. Everything plays extremely well on here. You can get a setup that looks just like this right here. Gives you all these amazing collections, all the amazing data and everything laid out beautifully. It cost me literally just over $100 to do everything that you see here. I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do this and how to do it. Let's get started. All right, guys, here we have the HP EliteDesk 800G2 desktop mini PC as it comes direct from Amazon, and it's actually bundled with a USB wired mouse and USB wired keyboard over here. Mixi is actually a pretty decent budget-friendly brand, very reliable. I've used them in the past, so certainly not top of the line by any means, but certainly going to get the job done for us. So I'm going to set that aside for right now. We're going to take a closer look at the PC. Worth noting though, it does come with a power supply cable up here, but it does not come with a DisplayPort cable. So you will need to order one of those separately. I picked up one at the same time as this from Amazon. It cost me about $8 or so. It's a high quality one. So we're going to set that aside. We're going to need to use that, but let's take a closer look at the actual PC itself. So you can see here, HP EliteDesk. First port over here, we have our audio jack connection, followed by microphone connection. Next, we have our USB Type-C. Next to over here are USB 3 ports, which come in handy for just about anything you'd be doing on here, connecting wireless receivers for controllers or wired controllers directly in here, a mouse, a keyboard, all that stuff. And then down here on the end is our actual power button. That's what we'll be hitting to power this on. Nothing up here at the top. Nothing at the bottom. Backside, we actually have a spot where we can mount this if we wanted to. So if you wanted to use this inside of an arcade cabinet, you certainly could mount this to the inside of your cabinet, outside of your cabinet even, very easily there, you can see. And we can also even put this face down, and with those non-skid strips, it grips really nicely. So let's take a look at the backside here, where we have some additional ports. We have 2 display ports here, and that is how I would recommend connecting this to your TV or monitor, because those basically work the same as an HDMI cable connection. Over here we have VGA, so you certainly could use VGA. However, that is not going to transmit your audio. It's only going to transmit over your video. So next over here, we have 4 additional USB 3 ports on here. So 4 in the back, 2 in the front, 6 in total. Ethernet connection over here, and then over here is where we're going to plug in our power supply cable. So that is pretty much everything that this has to offer externally on here. Also worth mentioning though, in the front we have built-in speakers. Not that I think anybody necessarily wants to utilize the built-in speakers here, but it certainly does come in handy. I think the best way to go obviously is using a DisplayPort cable, and then you can, get your audio through there as well as video. Use your speakers on your, TV or monitor. If you have a monitor that has speakers built in, that is definitely the best way to go on there. So this also does not have built-in Wi-Fi, but it does come with this USB Wi-Fi dongle here. So we can plug that into one of the 6 USB ports on here, and we are now able to get Wi-Fi to this, which definitely comes in handy for scraping. When we go in and we pull all of the data for our ROMs, just, creates a much better experience on there and a nicer layout. So we'll definitely be utilizing that. Again, power supply cable there, but let's actually open this up, and I'm going to show you guys how you can utilize the SSD within here to set up your retro gaming experience. So you don't have to do this. This actually comes with Windows 10 installed on the SSD within here. But if you wanted to use this specifically for retro gaming and retro gaming only, then you can just simply remove that SSD, put Bodocera directly onto that, and you're able to utilize everything that is provided here in this package for retro gaming without having to add in any additional costs other than the DisplayPort cable. So on the back side here, you notice we have this little screw here, and we don't actually have to go and connect a screwdriver to this. It's designed so we can do this with our fingers. We just simply turn it, it loosens all the way up. It will not fall all the way through or anything like that, so you don't have to worry about losing this. And then what we're going to do here is I'm going to push on the back side. I'm going to push that direction, and I'm just going to make sure that I hold the top stationary there. So I'm just sliding the bottom out like that, and now I can take this top off completely. So inside here you can see we have our cooling fan, but right down here at the bottom is our SSD. So I'm going to actually flip this around, and you're going to notice here we have this little lever, and we just simply push it down, and that's actually what locks the SSD in place. We have a wheel right here, another wheel over here, and this is just what locks everything in. So all we have to do once we pull that lever back is simply push on the SSD. We're going to push that way really gently because this is connected right over here. And now this is out of the track, fully mobile other than the connection right there. So I'm going to set this down. You want to be really careful when you do this. You're just going to pull that connection out just like so. You can see there's the connection right there. You don't want to just yank this because this connects on the other end right into the board back here. So you could do some damage there if you're, not careful. So on here, take a closer look. We have 2 wheels. Sometimes there's 4, sometimes there's 2. You really only need 2 in here to lock this in place. So that's likely what you're going to find the majority of the time. So I have a screwdriver right here. Sometimes it's going to be Phillips head. Sometimes they get you with these little star bits here. And that's what I actually have on here. I believe this is a T10 or 11. I'm not 100% sure. Actually, I'm going to look that up for you guys really quickly here. All right, so yes, it's a T10. At least this one is. I can't say that every single one is going to be exactly the same, but this one does work quite well with the T10. Sometimes they're not that far off in size between like a T10 and T11. So sometimes you can, in fact, use different ones. But if you got a kit, and I'll actually put a link in the description of this video to a kit where you get literally all of these tips, because they certainly do come in handy. And I actually got this off of Amazon as well. And it is great if you're working on pretty much any game console or PC out there. You're going to find something that you can utilize in those entire kits. So we have our SSD out here. I'm just going to set everything aside, and we're actually going to connect this now to our PC, and we're going to do so with this connection cable here. And this is from SABRENT, and you can see here, one end is a USB connection, so you can plug it into any USB port on your PC, and then this end here plugs into the SSD, just like that. Now, these will not work with regular hard drives. They're just going to work with SSDs like this. They might actually work with 2.5-inch hard drives, but I actually haven't tested that out. SSDs, though, works extremely well. I'll put a link for this as well. It's like $7, $8, $9, something like that. So I'm just going to bring this over to my PC, connect it over, and we're going to resume the process over there. All right, guys, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to jump onto our regular PC or laptop, whatever we're typically using for online tasks. We're going to jump over there. We're going to open up a web browser, and we're going to go over to Bodocera.org. Should look exactly like this does, at least at the time of the video. This is, what it looks like at the moment. And we're going to go over to download at the top, or if it's on the front page like it is here, it says get Bodocera.linux 37. That is the current version. If you're watching this video, later on down the line, this may be version 38, 39, whatever the case may be. Just go ahead and download whatever is the latest and greatest from Bodocera. So we're just going to go ahead and click that, and it's going to give us a bunch of different options. So if we're doing this on like a Steam Deck, you want to download that specific version. If we're using a Raspberry Pi, you want to download that specific version. But today, if you're following along with this video because you are using this exact HP mini PC, then what we're going to do is we're going to just download the regular PC version. So we're going to go over here to where it says desktop, laptop, NUC, and Intel-based Apple computers. We're going to go ahead and either click on that or just click download at the top. It's going to do its thing over here. You can see in parentheses it says 3. I've downloaded this multiple times in the past, so you can let it do its thing here. It's a pretty quick download. I'm going to skip ahead, so let it do its thing and then proceed with the next step once it's fully downloaded. All right, so assuming that fully downloaded for you, what we're going to do is you're going to want to get Balena Etcher right here. So you can go over to your web browser, type in Balena Etcher, go to Google, Balena Etcher. Very simple download for Windows or whatever you want to use it with. And once you download it, it's going to look like this. It'll put an icon here right on your desktop. So we're going to double click and open that up. And right here at the top, it says flash from file. We're going to go ahead and click that, and we're going to locate Bodocera. So here is Bodocera version 37, which we just downloaded. We're going to click on open. So make sure this is the image file. You don't want to zip this, unzip it, do anything there. You want it exactly as it downloaded, direct from Bodocera's website. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and connect our SSD to our PC via that USB connection. So I've already connected mine, so it should populate in here when I click on select target. If you find that it does not populate in here correctly, or it doesn't look like you see right here, you may have to unplug it, reconnect it. Sometimes try a different USB port on your PC. It should populate in just like this. So you can see I can just go ahead over here and check it. And just to confirm, make sure that it's the same size. Make sure if you have multiple things connected. If I had like a USB flash drive connected, that would populate in here. Just obviously make sure you're connecting to the exact drive that you want to flash Batocera to. So everything looks good here. I'm going to go ahead and hit select. And now we're going to hit flash. And it's going to give us some warnings. It's going to say you're about to erase an unusually large drive. It just wants to confirm that you're aware of that and that you want to proceed. So I'm going to go ahead and hit yes, I'm sure. And it's going to do its thing here. It's going to say, do you want to allow this app to make changes to your device? Go ahead and select yes. And now this entire process here, you can see up here at the top, at least this version of Bodocera, 8 gigabytes. So really a quick process here. So we're going to let it do its thing. It's going to flash here. It's already halfway done. ETA is 7 seconds. That's just for the flashing process. It's going to go through a couple different processes. So next process here is validating. This looked to be about 25 seconds or so. So we'll let it do its thing. And we should get a confirmation that everything, was flashed correctly. And that's exactly what it's doing here by validating. All right, you can see here it says flash completed. So we're going to go ahead and just X out of this. And now we have Bodocera loaded up onto our SSD. So we can go ahead and disconnect it from this PC, jump over to our HP Elite desk and proceed over there. All right, guys, so just unplug this from the USB connection from the PC. So we've got the SSD ready to get installed. We're going to go ahead and grab our wheels. Now, make sure that your connection here is on the right-hand side. Go ahead and put one of these wheels up here in the top corner, another one down here in the bottom right, and those are going to line up with, on here, one should line up with where our lever is. So I'm just going to tighten those up with the screwdriver. And first thing we're going to do is we're going to make our connection here. It's a little bit hard to see with my hand, but just like the USB connection that we made to our computer from the SSD, we're going to do the exact same thing there. Just kind of feel for it. Don't get overly aggressive. Pushes right into place. And now you're going to just line up those wheels with these slots here and pull back that lever. You should sit right into the tracks, line up the wheels perfectly, and then just slide them in. As you slide it forward, that lever will just click back into place, and you can see here everything is fully locked in. So all we have to do now is put our cover back on. Just be careful with it, but you'll see there's a little tab right here that's going to line up and slide right through the back of the frame here. All we have to do at this point is just tighten up our screw in the back. Now everything is installed within here, but this is just going to be our Bodocera SSD on here. There's no games on here yet. There's no BIOS files on here yet. There's no data for any games, obviously, because we don't have games except for what is included stock on Bodocera. So we're going to go ahead and make our connections to our PC, and we're going to actually boot this up. So first things first, make your power supply connections. Obviously, one end goes into the power outlet. The other end is going to go directly into the PC. Right there. We're going to grab our DisplayPort cable. So DisplayPort goes into the back, and I like to go into that middle one there. Clicks right into place. And I should have mentioned this before because I just said DisplayPort, but this is a DisplayPort to HDMI. And the reason I get that rather than just straight DisplayPort is because then I can plug this into a PC monitor or into a regular TV. And I'm going to be going directly into my TV today. Well, I'll be going through my capture card and then into my TV so you guys can see how everything boots up on here. So we're going to go ahead and make that connection. And go ahead and plug in your Wi-Fi dongle here. And you can plug it into the back or the front. Doesn't make any difference. So I'm just going to power this on and we'll continue on with everything within Bodocera. All right, so here we are inside of Batocera version 37 on our SSD installed within our HP EliteDesk mini PC. And what we're going to do now is we are going to connect our keyboard as well as our mouse. We'll now be able to navigate through everything, and all these collections are stock. Everything that you see here is as it comes on Bodocera version 37 at least. So once you have your keyboard connected and your mouse connected to your PC, you're going to hit your space bar on your keyboard. That opens up your main menu. From here, we're going to navigate down to network settings. We're going to hit enter on our keyboard to open that up. And you're going to see here that nothing is connected. So we have no IP address. We have no internet status. We need to go down to where it says enable Wi-Fi. Make sure that your Wi-Fi dongle is plugged into your PC again. You're going to go down to enable Wi-Fi and just hit enter. That is going to enable your Wi-Fi. Next thing after this, we're going to establish connection to our Wi-Fi network. So it takes a minute. Once it gives you that, sort of little toggle icon filled in, you're going to have Wi-Fi SSD and Wi-Fi key listed on here, and they're going to be blank. Now, I blocked mine out because I already have mine connected to my Wi-Fi, but you're going to go to Wi-Fi SSD. You're going to hit enter. You're going to get a list of all your different Wi-Fi connections that you can connect to. Go ahead and connect to yours. Once you do that, you're going to go down to Wi-Fi key and you're going to simply type in your password. And bring you back out here to network settings, and you're going to now just go down to back, hit enter. It's going to bring you back here to your main menu. And if you go back into network settings now, you should see under internet status, it should say connected. Now up here for your IP address, it should be filled in. You're going to now write down this IP address because you're going to need this momentarily from your other PC. So I'm going to write down mine. And I blocked mine out here, same as I blocked out my Wi-Fi SSID and key, just to keep everything private. Not that it's a huge deal to have that IP address out there, but just going to keep everything to myself here in this video. But yours is going to now populate on this list as long as you've been able to establish Wi-Fi connection. So now what we're going to do is we're going to jump over to our other PC, leave your HP EliteDesk turned on, leave it right where it is, or you can even just back out. You can hit escape, back out to your main page here, but leave it turned on, leave it connected to Wi-Fi, and jump over to your other PC. We'll resume over there. So now here we are back on our regular PC, and you're going to go to your web browser and you're going to go to archive.org. You're going to go to the search bar here and you're going to search for Bodocera BIOS files. So if you're using Bodocera 37, type in Bodocera 37 BIOS files. If you're using a later version, type in Bodocera 38, 39, whatever version BIOS files you're looking for the version that you downloaded to your SSD. Locate those, download those, and they may come zipped. They may come, just regular, a regular folder. Usually they're going to be zipped though. If they're zipped, use something like 7-zip to extract them. So I'm going to show you guys how mine came. I have them saved here on my desktop. So here I have my BIOS version 37 full pack, and you can see this was zipped. So I just simply right clicked on here. I went down to show more options, and I hovered over 7-zip and I clicked on extract files. It extracted those. Once you have them extracted, you'll be able to go in, you'll be able to locate your BIOS folder. I actually pulled it out separate just so I don't have it within the other folder over here. We can double click on that, see what it looks like. You have all these BIOS files and folders inside of here. Exactly as it is here is how you want to leave it. So I have it just pulled out for convenience over here on my desktop. So next thing we're going to do, we're going to go down here on your bottom bar. We're going to click on File Explorer. So now here it's going to default to home up here. Click and just backspace. So now we're going to do //, and we're going to type in our IP address exactly as we copied it down from Bodocera. So go ahead and do that. And now hit enter on your keyboard. You're going to get this Windows security that pops up and it says enter network credentials. Enter your credentials to connect to, and it's going to list your IP address. So now what we're going to do for a username, we're going to type in root, R-O-O-T. For a password, we're going to type in Linux, L-I-N-U-X. And now we're going to go ahead and we can hit remember my credentials if you want to, if you don't want to have to type this in later on when you come back in here. And then we're going to click OK. That is going to connect over now to your HP Elite Desk. As long as you still have your Wi-Fi connection established and everything's connected properly over there, you're going to now be able to go into your share folder here. So we're going to double click on share folder. And now we have full access to all of our files on our HP Elite Desk. So what we need to do is we need to update our BIOS folder here. So if we double click on folder, again, we are now accessing everything on our HP Elite Desk. So we're going to let this load in. We're going to see that inside here for BIOS, we don't have a whole hell of a lot. So we're going to go over and locate our BIOS folder that we just downloaded here to this PC. So if we go over here to desktop for me. So now if we go in here to desktop, we're going to open up our BIOS folder here. Now this again is the one we just downloaded. So we're going to make sure that we highlight everything on here. So you can hit Control A on your keyboard. That's going to highlight all of our different files and folders in here. Now we're going to, you can hit Control C to copy everything, or you can right click, go down to show more options, copy it right in here, do that as well. Now we're going to go back up here to home, click up here at the top bar, backspace that out, //, type in your IP address again, hit enter, and we're going to go into our share folder, we're going to go into our BIOS folder, and now down here in an open area, just right click, show more options, and click paste. You're now pasting in all of those BIOS folders for Bodocera version 37. So you're going to have full access now to everything on your HP Elite Desk, and you're adding all those new files and folders in. So this might take a few minutes. Let it do its thing. We'll come back here once this is 100% complete. All right, so you can see that our process is just completing here. We're at 99%, 100%, and there we go. So all of those BIOS files now and folders should be added into our SSD within our HP Elite Desk PC. Now I'm going to show you guys real quick before we jump back over to the Elite Desk how we can go back in and now add in our game ROMs. So we're going to go in here, back up to the top where it says home. We're going to do our //, enter in our IP address once again. I'm going to hit enter. We'll go into share now. And we can, while we're in here, just double check the BIOS folders. And you can see all of those are now found within. So we can hit back. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go into our ROMs folder down here. And you're going to see all of these collections. So you can go in here and see that we have FB Neo. We have our GameCube, Game Gear, etc., Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, and so on. So if we wanted to add like an Xbox game, for example, we go down here, we locate Xbox. Here's Xbox, we double click, and in here we can simply paste in whatever Xbox ROMs we want to add. So if we had, actually I think that I have, so I actually have on my desktop here, Halo 2. So I can go in here. We're already inside of our Xbox ROM collection, so I'm going to go over here and just copy this. So go over to copy, and now we'll go back over here, and we can simply paste that in. So we're just going to show more options, paste. Halo 2 gets added directly into our Xbox ROMs collection. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to simply X out of this. I'm going to shut down this computer altogether, and we're going to jump now over to the Elite Desk. All right, here we are on our HP Elite Desk PC. So we just added in our BIOS files, as well as we added in that Xbox title, Halo 2. So if we go through our collections, we should locate Xbox. There it is. And if we jump in here, there we go. We've got our Halo 2 ROM ready to go inside of our Xbox collection. So we can back out by hitting escape on our keyboard. And now we also have all of our BIOS files added in as well, which we did just like we did the Halo 2 title here through our network connection from our regular PC. So if you want to access your files from inside your HP Elite desk here inside Bodocera, all you're going to need to do is hit F1 on your keyboard. That is going to open it up just like this, and we have access to all of the same stuff that we were able to remotely access through our network connection from our other PC. So if we go over to ROMs, we can go over and double check our Xbox collection. So we'll go down here to X. Where are you? There we go. Double click on Xbox, and there is our Halo 2 ROM that we added in. We can go over here on the left column to BIOS, and all of our files that we added in through network connection are in here as well. So if you wanted to add in the same way that we added in Halo 2 for Xbox, other titles for any of these collections here in our ROMs folder, you can do it the exact same way. So if you have N64 games you want to add in, you just simply on your PC through network connection while your HP Elite desk is booted up and connected to Wi-Fi, you add in all of your games here. You can add in more than one at a time. You could add in hundreds or even thousands of games at the same time if you want to. Just simply paste them in here, drag and drop them in here, let them upload, and everything will be found in here in the end. So to close this out, File, Close Window, brings you right back out here to Batocera again. Now, I didn't show you guys how to scrape anything in this process here. Scraping is when you add all of the data. So if we jump in here, you see how boring this looks. Nothing exciting going on here. If you want to add video previews, logos, box art, descriptions, ratings, all that stuff that creates a well-polished layout, I have a video that walks you through the entire process of using Screen Scraper, which is an amazing tool. You'll be able to add all that stuff to create a well-polished and really professional looking setup on here. So take advantage of that video. It's found in the description. But that is the entire process here. And in the end, we end up with a really affordable setup that plays perfectly. Let's dive into some gameplay demos though and see exactly how well everything plays right here on the HP Elite desk. Alright guys, let me know what you guys think of converting the HP Elite Desk Mini PC into a retro game console capable of emulating such a wide range of games and game collections. In fact, until I dove into this process with you guys in this video, I had no idea that Nintendo Switch was going to perform the way that it did here. In fact, it performed pretty much perfect on here. And again, at a budget rock bottom price point. We're seeing tons and tons of plug and play setups online for hundreds of dollars. Even the drives alone are hundreds of bucks. With this, obviously you have to supply your own ROMs. You have to do a little bit of the legwork and setting up everything. but you save yourself an absolute fortune in the process. So I think this is an amazing PC at a rock bottom price that has absolutely phenomenal performance and tons of capabilities. Now, in this video, I showed you how to add ROMs. The process that I walk through for Xbox is the same for pretty much all of your collections. If you have any questions, you can hit me up here in the comment section or reach out to me directly. I obviously can't get back to everybody, so bear with me there. The channel, though, is an excellent resource for pretty much everything Bodocera related. I've done tons of tutorials in the past on Bodocera, on setting up games and game collections, adjusting settings, all that good stuff. So you'll find tons of help here on the channel. But I also will put some links in the description of this video so you can see some other videos that I've done. One that I think would be huge for you guys is my video on how to set up Screen Scraper. Screen Scraper is an excellent tool for polishing off your setup once you have all your games added in. You can add video previews, still shots, logos, descriptions of games, all that stuff that basically takes a boring text list for each of your collections and turns it into something like this. This is my setup that I've put together, and I've been building this over time for the last couple of years. I'm always adding new games in, tweaking things, adjusting things, and you can see how well polished everything is on here. So you can get a layout like this very easily. Just follow my Screen Scraper tutorial, link in the description, and everything that was used here, from the PC to the cables, everything is in the description as well. So you can click over to Amazon, figure out exactly, what everything is going to cost you in total, but it should be right around 100 to 120 bucks or so for literally everything that you would need that was shown in this video. So all that stuff's down there. You can see how long it'll take to arrive, all that. I'll also put a link down there to my Amazon storefront in case you're looking for controllers or you want to see any of the products that I've reviewed here on the channel. I'm slowly but surely adding more and more stuff over there from past videos here on the channel. So that's going to do it for today. Again, let me know in the comment section what you thought of everything. Check out those links in the description. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't yet hit subscribe, be sure to do that. Hit subscribe, stay in the loop for all future videos. Thank you guys so much for your time. I'll see you in the next video.